Ever wondered why that super nice person at work, or maybe even you, gets walked all over? It's a tough pill to swallow, but sometimes, being too nice can actually make people respect you less. It sounds completely backward, right? We are taught from a young age to be kind, to share, to put others first. And while kindness is an amazing quality, there's a fine line between being genuinely kind and being a people pleaser who gets overlooked. Today, we are diving deep into the psychology behind this strange phenomenon. Why does being overly nice sometimes backfire and lead to a total lack of respect? Stick around, because understanding this could completely change how you navigate your relationships, both at work and in your personal life. So, let's get right into the first big reason: perceived value. Think about it like this. In economics, scarcity increases value. If something is rare and hard to get, we want it more. We value it more. The same psychological principle applies to your time, your energy, and your yes. When you're always available, always saying yes to every request, and always putting others' needs before your own, you inadvertently signal that your resources are abundant and, therefore, less valuable. You become the 24/7 convenience store of favors. People know they can come to you anytime, for anything, and you'll drop everything to help. While that sounds noble, it subconsciously tells them that your own time and priorities aren't that important. Respect is often tied to how much we value someone's contributions and their boundaries. When you have no boundaries, you're essentially giving away your value for free. And sadly, human nature tends to devalue things that are free and always available. It's not that people are malicious, it's just a fundamental cognitive bias at play. Next up is the issue of predictability and a lack of challenge. Humans are wired to be intrigued by a little bit of mystery and unpredictability. When someone is too nice, their behavior becomes incredibly predictable. You'll always agree. You'll never cause a fuss. You'll always smile and nod, even when you disagree. This predictability, while seemingly safe, can become boring. It removes any sense of challenge or dynamic tension from the interaction. People respect those who challenge them in a healthy way, who have their own opinions, and who aren't afraid to voice them respectfully. Think of the most respected people you know. They're likely kind, yes, but they also have a backbone. They'll tell you when they think you're wrong, they'll push back on a bad idea, and their approval feels earned because it's not given out automatically. When you're overly agreeable, your opinion loses its weight. People stop seeking it because they already know what you're going to say. You become part of the background noise instead of a key player in the conversation. This brings me to a crucial point: the confusion between nice and kind. We often use these words interchangeably, but they are psychologically very different. Niceness is often about external appearances. It's about being pleasant, agreeable, and avoiding conflict at all costs. It's motivated by a desire to be liked and to avoid disapproval. Kindness, on the other hand, is about genuine care and concern for others, and it comes from a place of strength and integrity. A kind person might do something that seems not nice in the short term for a greater good. For example, a kind friend will tell you the hard truth that your new business idea has major flaws, because they genuinely want you to succeed. A nice friend would just say, "That's great. You should go for it," to avoid the uncomfortable conversation. People with deep self-respect and confidence operate from a place of kindness. They're not afraid to be firm or to set boundaries, because their actions are guided by their core values, not by a fear of what others will think. People subconsciously recognize this strength and integrity, and that's what earns true, lasting respect. Niceness is fragile. Kindness is resilient. Another major psychological factor is the perception of weakness and a lack of confidence. When you consistently avoid confrontation, fail to assert your needs, or apologize for things that aren't your fault, it screams a lack of self-confidence. You're essentially communicating that you don't believe your own thoughts, feelings, and needs are valid enough to be expressed. You're putting yourself in a subordinate position in every interaction. Respect is a two-way street, but it starts with self-respect. If you don't respect yourself enough to stand up for yourself, why should anyone else? People, especially in professional or competitive environments, are naturally drawn to and respect confident individuals. Confidence signals competence and leadership. Being too nice often signals the exact opposite. It can be perceived as passivity and an inability to handle pressure or conflict, which are qualities that rarely command respect. It's the doormat effect. Once you let someone wipe their feet on you once, they'll likely do it again, because you've shown them that you will tolerate it. Furthermore, being too nice can trigger a psychological phenomenon known as the Ben Franklin effect, but in reverse. The Ben Franklin effect states that when we do a favor for someone, we tend to like that person more. Why? Because our brain justifies our actions. We think, I must like this person if I'm going out of my way to help them. Now, let's flip it. When someone is constantly receiving favors from you, without ever reciprocating, their brain can start to justify this imbalance. They might subconsciously think, this person is always doing things for me, so they must be in a position to serve. Their time is less important than mine. It reinforces a power dynamic where you are the giver and they are the taker. This doesn't foster respect, it fosters a sense of entitlement. They stop seeing your favors as acts of generosity and start seeing them as an expectation, an obligation. And when you finally do say no, they're not grateful for all the times you said yes. Instead, they get angry that you've broken the established pattern, further proving that the respect was never really there in the first place. So what's the solution? Do you have to become a jerk to get respect? Absolutely not. The key is to shift from being a nice people pleaser to being a kind and assertive individual. It starts with building self-awareness. Notice when you're saying yes just to avoid conflict. Recognize when you're apologizing unnecessarily. Start small. Practice saying no to a low-stakes request. Say something like, I'd love to help, but I'm swamped right now. You don't need a long, elaborate excuse. No is a complete sentence. Start stating your opinion, even if it differs from the group. Frame it respectfully. That's an interesting point, but I see it a little differently. Or have we considered this alternative? You're not being disagreeable. You're being a valuable contributor. Remember, setting boundaries is not selfish. It's essential for healthy relationships. Boundaries teach people how to treat you. When you have clear boundaries, people know where they stand, and they respect you for it. It shows you value your own time, energy, and well-being. And when you value yourself, others are far more likely to value you too. It's about finding that sweet spot, being warm, empathetic, and collaborative, while also being firm, self-respecting, and confident in your own worth. That is the true formula for earning respect. Not through niceness, but through authentic kindness and strength. Thanks so much for watching. If this video resonated with you, let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more insights into psychology and self-improvement. See you in the next one.